today to learn some Chassidus and to learn some Tanya. Those that are on Zoom, I hope you have a Tanya someplace near you. We are holding
I'll tell you. 13 Adar 1.
we're holding on page 128, the left-hand column, 13 Adar 1. Okay, so that's fine. It's good for me. Especially. That's what we're holding. So it's important, those that are on Facebook, or those that are on Zoom, actually. And since we have a nice crowd on Zoom, they should get a Tanya. They should order a Tanya to come to their house, and they'll be able to follow along in this class. Okay. So, my dear friends, Dr. Rebbe is the middle of this chapter. It's a long chapter that we're in, chapter 29, and he's going through all the different kinds of problems that that people can come up with in their defining of themselves, and going back in the history, so to say, of themselves, who they were, and what they did. And therefore, everybody can go to the, as expression in the Talmud, the sins of the youth, the college years. So we all know that we all have the concept of the situations we might have done in in our younger years that might have been something that is not such a positive thing in our life. Not that we're talking about it in this group over here, but because we're all holy people. But if you know anybody that is still walking around with the guilt of his past, so you might feel negative of oneself. You might look in your past and open up the skeletons, the doors of the past, and bring out the skeletons of the past. So how does one deal with those kind of situations? If we're thinking people. So let's see what the Alter Rebbe says. Let's try to connect to this concept, sins of the youth, especially. So if he calls to mind the contamination of his soul with the sins of his youth and the blemishes he has wrought in the supernal worlds, where everything is timeless, that's the problem. So you might say that there was a time of the past. I'm living in the present, but still, in Torah, God is timeless. There's no time, and there's no concept of time and space. So the past is right now. As the expression of David HaMelech, Shvisi, that I put in front, that my sins are always in front of me. King David said in Tillim, "Chatasi lenegdi samid." My sins of my youth are always in front of me, and it's not something that I could run away from, because ultimately, something that I've done, whether it's now or whether it's in the years bygone, the blemish is a blemish in the upper worlds, in this world, and these things need to be worked on and ultimately need to be rectified in the world. That's the whole concept of the sin of the tree of knowledge. Go into Kabbalah, you learn Chassidus, the sin of the tree of knowledge, of good and bad, brought the negative in the world, brought a concept of negativity in the world. And now, since that time, we have the Avodas HaBerurim, we have the rectification of this sin. So if you learn Chassidus, you'll see that every sin is connected to the Chet Eitz Hadas. Every sin that a person does really is connected to that original sin that Adam and Eve did. In in Gan Eden. So really and truthfully, we can go back not only in my past, we can go back to the past of the previous generation. We go back to the beginning of time, to the creation of Adam and Eve, which started off this whole concept of what is a sin and what means a negative thing in the world, and how do we fix it? That's the more important thing. How do we fix? Every day in our davening, we say, Anachnu, Avinu, Chatanu, that it's not only sin is not something what has started today. The concept of negativity in the world started many, many, many years ago. As I just said, it started on the 6th day of creation. If you go deeper in the concept, Chassidus says it started on the 2nd day of creation. Separation started already. The concept of disagreement, the concept of jealousy, and the concept of people having a different opinion, and what brings about by different opinions, and that's what happens in the child in the blemishes of our youth. The sin of our youth is when we had, so to say, we were smarter then. Ultimately, we mature and we realized we weren't so smart maybe then. But well, you can't tell that to a teenager, right? That he's not so smart, right? Because he thinks he's the smartest in the world. Whatever, some of us never left teenagehood. So it's the way it is. So the concept started a long time ago. And ultimately, it's a long gullus, it's a long exile. It says Yaakov Avinu saw the length of the last exile which we're in, which is the ultimate rectification of this past, is a long journey. It's a long journey. It almost feels like it's a timeless journey, Chas v'shalom. But we have to realize that this is we're here fixing the timeless situation. God gave us the special job of fixing a timeless situation. Yeah. We just started. We didn't. What? You're not responsible. You want to fix it. You're not responsible. It's not a responsibility. Because we're all interconnected. We're ultimately all interconnected. We all come from Adam and Rishon. We all come from Adam and Chava. We didn't come from nowhere. We came from Adam and Chava. Just like we are connected to our parents. What's the difference? How many generations that we are interconnected between our parents? What generation does it stop? Never ending. It's a continual generation. It's like a chain. A chain. You have a chain. It doesn't make a difference how long the chain is. Ultimately, this chain is interconnected, one within the other.
We're still affected by their.
We're inspired by their, and we're in the schus of theirs, right? The schus of us. We always mention the patriarchs, the merit of the patriarchs. Why should the merit of the patriarch help us? The thousands of years before, no, because we're the chain event. We look for the good, and self-understood. We need to fix the bad. If there was some negatives in the bad, with our obligation, our schus. We have to look at it as an obligation. It's schus. We have a merit to fix the past. It's a schus to fix the past, to be able to transform the past, to be able to it says last week in the Parsha, it says you shouldn't go in the footsteps. Not only should you go in the footsteps of your parents. Your parents are waiting for you to change them. Your parents are waiting. It says the Gemara says that no parent is jealous that his child is better than him. Every parent wants his child to outrun him. Every parent wants a child to elevate him. So that's what's called nachas. So that the parent, whatever the parent wanted for himself, he wants hopefully a healthy parent wants that his child should outrun him in all aspects of life, and it should show pleasure. Should bring him pleasure. Say the story about the Mejitcha Magid. Richard Magid of Mizrich was took over from the Baal Shem Tov, that when he was a child, his house burned down. Famous story: his house burned down, and he was standing next to his mother. In those days, all the houses were made out of, when one house started to burn in the city, the whole city burned down. That's the way it was, because everything was made out of wood, and that's the way it was. Didn't have to have a big fire; just a small fire, the whole city went up in flame. So his house burned down, and his mother was standing out there, he's crying. He said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "Because I had a shtai yichus. We had a document of lineage in our home, which showed our lineage to David HaMelech, to King David. We had this document that showed our lineage." So he told his mother, he was like a 10-year-old child. He told his mother, "Don't worry, your lineage starts from me, and don't worry, your greatness will start from me." And he came to Midrash Magid. He came to Magid of Mizrich, one of the greatest tzaddikim, teacher of the Alter Rebbe. So, right? So we want our lineage, right? Famous story also. A Jew went by the Rebbe. He said, "I'm starting a class for those that don't have any background, any Jewish background." The Rebbe said, "Every Jew has a Jewish background. There's not a Jew in the world that doesn't have a Jewish background. We're all B'nai Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. We all have a great background. We have the background of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. What kind of greater background do you need than that background?" So we always want to connect to these great people, these great tzaddikim, and we mention in our davening every day these great tzaddikim. So why do we mention them? There's chosavis that their merit, that we should be able to do what they should continue to do, what is to give us blessings, etc. So we always go to the back in the good, but we have to also go to the back in the bad. There's issues that need to be right, not Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, but there's issues of the past. And the truth is, the neshamas of the past are waiting for you. The neshamas of your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents are also waiting for you, your mitzvah here in this world. They're waiting for your good deed. They're waiting for your good deed. They're waiting for your, the Rebbe would say, they're waiting for your gift package. You got to send the package. You got to send the gift package. It goes quicker. It goes quicker. It goes quicker. So you need to send them a package. You need to send them a love letter. You need to send them this package of light that you do, and there's chus. You don't realize that what you the Gemara says, Gadol midas hachesed midas haperonius, that what did Rashi last week? That 500 times the amount of good in comparison to the amount of negative. So if there's negative in the world that a person does, is self-understood, a person does is negative in the world, but the good that he does in the world is 500 times the amount of the negative that does in the world. So we should realize that, but still, a person needs to know is negative. That he has might have the negative of the past. We need to know, right? We need to know that this is what we have to accomplish. Why? Because when there's negative in the world, the upper world, not only this world is affected, all the worlds are affected by this negativity. And it's as if he has caused his blemish and defilement this very day. So, God forbid. So in essence, it's not something of the youth. That's what I said before. King David said, I see the sin today. Not something I'd done when I was in my 20s, even though now I'm in my 60s. What's the difference to God, 20s or 60s? This doesn't make difference to God whether you're at this age or that age. And although he had sincerely repented already, yet the essence of repentance is in his heart. And in the heart are found many distinctions and gradations, and everything is according to the kind of a man he is, and according to the time and place as it's known to the knowing. So we know that Alter Rebbe is saying in a nice way. We know that if you learn even in the Rambam, Maimonides, we know that there are many levels of repentance, tshuva. And there's a quick way to do tshuva, there's a length way to do tshuva. Tshuva is a very deep concept. It ain't tshuva ela belev. Tshuva is in the heart. It can be a deep concept. It can be a simple concept. There's no one brush that expresses what is the heart. The lev. The heart is a complicated issue. The heart. And therefore, a person can change in a moment. A person can change his ways. The question is how deep it was in his heart, this change. How much it affected his heart. What is love? When you say I love something, what is the meaning of I love something?
You're passionate.
Okay, I can give you a passion about it. How passionate are you about it?
Very.
Very. What's the expression? I love you more. I love you more. I love you more than more. How is love? Fidi could have asked the question. You have a child, you love children. You have a child, you love him. You think you have unlimited love. But then the Eibishter gives you a second child of so. So how do you have more love? What do you realize suddenly? That you have more, that there's no limit to that love. It's a limitless love.
You have grandchildren.
Okay. Right. So what means love? What means love? How do we qualify the concept of love? And therefore, it's a very deep concept, the aspect of love of Hashem. You should love God. It can go through many aspects, many different details, and everything is true. Everything is true. There's nothing that you could say that I didn't do this because of love, whether it's a trivial thing or a deep thing or a very deep thing, or it's a fatal attraction of love. How can you evaluate the concept of love? So when you say you love the Eibishter, I love God, and therefore, that's really the question. So therefore, some people say I give more charity. Some people say I learn more. Some people say I daven more. Some people say, I don't know. Whatever a person says, it is all true. It's all that, but it's ultimately all not that. So the tzaddik loves God, and the Beinoni loves God, and even the Rasha loves God. Everybody loves God. Right? The Gemara says a thief loves God too. He's stealing, and he loves God. The idol also loves God. Everybody loves God. The idol worshiper, the idol himself. Everybody loves God. And all in love. Self-understood. That we are, what is love? Can you tell a wicked person he doesn't love God? He loves God. You might meet a wicked person, he loves God. You're going to tell him he doesn't love God? Well, you're dictating to him what love is. He has a certain kind of love. You don't have that love. He doesn't have your love, and you don't have his love. So how do we evaluate in this room alone, or those who are listening? What is love? I'm going to tell you what love is, and that means your love is not love. How do we evaluate that kind of love? Every person is going to have a different expression of love of God. Every person is going to have a different expression of fear of God. You cannot give one meaning to this concept. It's an infinite concept. The truth is, tshuva is an infinite concept. That's why King David, who did tshuva, David did tshuva. He did. He repented. Nevertheless, said, "My sins in front of me." What?
Say that, and also David knows.
555-1212.
What?
555-1212. Give him a call. That's what he said. I'm saying there's many interpretations to that concept. V'chatasi l'negdi summit. My sin is always in front of me.
Sin or sins?
Chatasi, my sins. No, in essence, he said there's never ending. My sin, whatever it is. That's not my. So it's not important. The point is over here that David HaMelech said that tshuva is never ending. that my tshuva is never ending. I'm always about tshuva. That's it. My tshuva is never ending because I can go deeper and deeper in my tshuva. Because in the concept of love, we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. How do we come to a love of God? There's endless, it's no limit to the love of the Eibishter you can do. So therefore, the yesterday's love is a sin in comparison to my love today. I continue to the journey of my deepness of my love to God. It's unlimited. So therefore, my tshuva is unlimited. My repentance is unlimited. It's unlimited. And that's the beauty of tshuva. That's why tshuva is the fabric of everything. Because everything needs tshuva. Everything in life, every mitzvah in life needs to have the tshuva, needs to have to go deeper into it. Is there a limit to the concept of a mitzvah? Is there a limit? There's a limit to the act. But is there a limit to the concept of what this mitzvah is? Or what this commandment is? No, it's the ratzon of the Eibush, it's the will of God. It's the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is there a limit to God's will? Yeah, in the physical world there is a limit, but not in the spiritual world. There's no limit to this will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because God is infinite, His will is infinite. So therefore, not a finite concept. Therefore, tshuva is not a finite concept. Right? Tshuva is that. Like chokhmah is not a finite concept. Chokhmah, wisdom, is not a finite concept. Can a person say that he has acquired wisdom? Say you're a student of wisdom. Can you acquire wisdom? You have acquired the wisdom of everything. Who has acquired the wisdom of everything? Nobody. You can't acquire it. That's it. So ultimately you can't acquire it. You can't acquire it. So your person should always learn. A person should always do tshuva. A person should always go higher in the service of God.
We should always be in the state of truth.
Yeah.
So when he makes the statement, then it says it's before me, but it's not inside me.
100%. That's
So
it.
the norm, and because we always hear that Hashem, when we do true tshuva, He washes the slate. It's white. It's clear.
Yeah,
He's
but
saying
still,
it's a reminder. You see.
right.
It's a-
That I step backwards. that I step backwards in my life, whether it's now or 20 years ago or whatever, the sins of my youth, that's why I step backwards in life, showed me that there's always going forward. There's always going forward. There's never ending forward. That's the step back teaches me. There's never ending of going forward by a human being. He never ends the forward march. And that's what Tuvah that's what repentance tells you. That there's never end of forward march. There's never end of wisdom. Learning tells you you need to learn more. That's what learning teaches you, hopefully. The more you learn, the more you see how much you need to learn. Nobody has said in his life he's completed his learning. Because learning is never ending. Shuv is never ending. Mitzvahs are never ending. Torah is never ending. These things are never ending. Yeah.
You earlier you said you can do tshuva. It can be a quick tshuva or a longer tshuva. What do you mean by that? I never heard that before.
As I said, the simple meaning of tshuva is charata la'ava, Kabbalah teva lahaba. Tshuva can take 1 second. I feel bad for the past. I decide to do good for the future. That's true.
Can you control that?
Yeah, sure. I feel bad for the past, and tshuva belev is in my mind. I don't have to say anything. Tshuva is charata la'ava. I feel bad for the past, and I'm going to do good in the future. That's true. You already did tshuva. You already did tshuva in 1 minute.
2nd.
1 second. You did tshuva. That's it. What's going to happen in the future, I'm not sure. Lav dafka you're going to do the good in the future.
But in this-
But this second, I did tshuva, right? I did tshuva. That's tshuva. Self-understood. We're all smart people, intellectual people here, and mature people. That we understand that is a very basic concept of tshuva. It didn't take much. It doesn't take much of my effort. It takes a second in my mind to realize the past is wrong. The future needs to be better. And everybody does tshuva. Salach lanu avinu ki chatanu. That's what you say every day in prayers. We ask, Salach lanu, please God forgive me. I've sinned. I made a mistake. It's not going to happen anymore. At least right now, it's not going to happen anymore. But that's true. I did tshuva. I did tshuva. The problem is the begam of a sin. It's not the sin. The Eibusher forgave you on the sin. God forgives you. The problem is the begam. Begam means the effect of the sin.
The ripples from the stone.
Right.
The lake.
The effect of the sin. The effect.
Okay.
That's the problem. The problem is the effect. That's where we have to work deeper on. Now the sin is over. It's done. The time has changed. New time. So the time has changed. So the tshuva is affected. I'm not going to do it anymore. It's finished. But the problem is that there was a sin. And therefore, there was certain effect in the world, in this world, in the upper worlds, that the sin did. Now, how do I work on those things? How do I change the effect of the sin? And the question is, how deep was the effect?
So, are you saying, just to simplify my brain, that if you carry baggage, from your past inside of you, and you're still carrying it, then you haven't really done tshuva yet on it? Like if you can't, like let's say you.
Well, 100%. That's number one. That's number one. I'm saying more than that. A person shouldn't carry baggage of the past. He has to. That's the simple concept of tshuva. Is I forget about the past.
Right.
I feel bad for the past, and the future is going to be good. So you already threw your baggage away. Now the question is what the baggage affected in the world.
Let's say you said something that wasn't.
So the baggage
to
affected.
someone. It's not enough to just do tshuva.
Right. So I'm talking about even in spiritual, to me and God, that it's happening in the spiritual world. It's not only that I said something bad, not to fix that person that I felt something bad to. That's in this world. I'm talking about between me and God. I didn't put on film one day. I didn't eat kosher. I did these avedas, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally. That's why it's called the sins of the youth. The hormones are running. Everybody's wild. It's I'm uncontrollable. Out of control. I'm in college. I went to college, so that's why I say I'm in college. So sound like I missed the good days. But okay. So you have that situation. We're wild. No parents. Who knows what we're doing? We're having a good life. But ultimately, I realize as I matured that maybe these things I shouldn't have done. So now I'm not going to carry. I don't carry the baggage. The Eibusher forgives you. I decided it's not a good idea, and I decided maybe this a long time ago that it wasn't a good thing, and I'm not going to live that kind of life anymore. That's what I did tshuva. But ultimately, it affected the world, especially in the spiritual world.
I learned that if you do tshuva, then it erases all your past errors. But you're saying.
I'm saying it erases. The ultimate level of tshuva is where my negative becomes positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the spiritual world. So ultimately, as the Alter Rebbe explained, when you do tshuva me'ava from love, then your negatives can turn into positive. So that's a very deep level of tshuva. Erases tshuva me'ira, erases it. I want to transform it. I don't want to erase it. I want to transform it. I want to change it into a positive.
Can you give an example?
Can I go and tell me if it's off the subject and you don't want to go on?
Yeah, because the people are assuming.
Tshuva, and I always struggled with something in the Talmud or something about anger is when you're angry, it's equal to idol worship.
Right.
Can you define that quickly, or?
It's not to do it here, but
It's off the
the subject. Let's keep on the subject.
Can you give an example of how you turn a negative to a positive.
You're talking
Okay.
specifically between you and God, not between man and man.
No, it can be man and man too.
Because I said that, and you said, no, I'm talking about man and God, but.
No, and that you're saying now she has something else. You always can tshuva me'ava can be done for man and man too. That I rectified this relationship, and we're back in total love of one another. So I heard him, and now we become best friends. That's tshuva me'ava. That's tshuva me'ava with another person. That maybe through our negative, we actually became better friends.
And what's the lower level?
Tshuva me'ira, I ask forgiveness, and you go your way, and I go my way, and that's tshuva me'ira. That I don't want to hurt any I don't want any bad feelings, but I'm not coming back to repair. Listen, I understand you don't like me, but we don't have to have hate between one another. So I ask forgiveness, forgive me, and you go your way, I go my way. That's tshuva me'ira. I don't want to have fights. I don't want to have negative energy in this world. So I ask forgiveness from you, and you forgive me. But as I say, forgive and don't forget. So so you go your way, I go my way. You're supposed, but it's very difficult to do that. Yeah. So tshuva me'ava is when we become best friends.
It's a different level.
It's a famous story of the rabbi. A rabbi in the city. It's a story of a rabbi. I forgot. I don't want to say his name because I don't remember. Famous Rav. That was that it used to come. Who you get when people had money? They didn't have there were no banks, so they used to come to the rabbi. The rabbi used to hold the money for people. He was the honest guy officially. The gemach, right? So this Jew came to him and gave him a lot of money. And the Rav put it in his Gemara. He was learning Gemara when the Jew came. He put it in his Talmud. And came in and they wrote a paper. This guy gave him the money. And the Rav guy came back. I'm trying to remember the story. The guy came back. And the Rav opened the Gemara. He couldn't find the money. He said, I'm sorry, I paid you back the money. I gave you back the money. And the Jew said, no, you didn't give me the money. They got this whole backwards and forwards. It was like they got known in the city. And this Jew is schmutzing the rabbi, and they know the people in the city threw him out of the shul. He's condemning the rabbi, whatever. I could say one day the rabbi is opened up a different Gemara, and there in the Gemara is the money. So the Jew was right. He didn't give him the money. He has the money. He's holding the money. So the Jew apologized. The rabbi called the Jew, apologized, and realized, the Jew is not taking his apology. So the whole city talk against me, and how. So the rabbi said, "You know what? He called back the Jew a day later. He said, "You know what? We're going to fix this. You have a son, I have a daughter, we're going to make a shidduch."
Oh my God.
Make a shidduch.
Show the community.
We're mashadach. We'll come one family again. And that will bring back everything to normal.
That's the ultimate.
That's the ultimate way of fixing something. Hopefully they went down on a date. I don't know.
We're happy with each other.
So that's the point. So the point is, you have to come family again. You have to come back to the concept of tshuva me'ava. Not that does we ask forgiveness. God forgives us. Okay, you did something better. Understand you're a human being. How do we become lovers again? That's the question. How does this negative bring us actually to a bigger positive, right? The rabbi would never married into that family. That family would never marry the rabbi's family until the story happened. So this negative brought out a great positive. From this negative came out an unbelievable positive. And that's tshuva me'ava. That when the negative makes it a positive. Without the negative, there wouldn't have been this positive. Without the Jew feeling separate for God, he would never reveal his true love of God. So when the Jew feels separate from God, when the Jew realizes he's far from God, and that awakens him up to become more loving of God, then that's when the negative becomes a positive. Because without the negative, you maybe would never ever come to this positive. That's tshuva me'aba. That's when a Jew feels that he's closest to God because he feels distance from God. Samalacha nafshi. That's why David HaMelech, even though he's a tzaddik, he still said Samalacha nafshi. I'm thirsty of you. I feel so far away from you. So even though I'm so close to you, but I feel like the expression we learned in the Chassidus, behema, I feel like an animal with you. So as I'm a tzaddik, I'm so holy, I'm so involved, but nevertheless, I feel so far. I feel such a distance. So the distance makes me thirsty. The distance, right? I don't have the water, it makes me thirsty. If I have the water always, I feel like, why am I thirsty? But a person who doesn't have water, he feels thirsty. A person should always feel that he's thirsty for God.
It's true.
He's thirsty for God. If a person feels, oh, what do you mean? I'm from a Jew. I'm a big tzaddik. I'm a righteous person. What do you mean? I'm not thirsty. I got it all.
That's where we're like a tree.
So therefore, you always need to be about tshuva. You're not. If a person feels like he's full, then he knows that he's not. He knows how far he is from the reality. Because a tzaddik, like the Alter Rebbe says, that even a tzaddik feels that he's far from God. We say it in our davening. The Alter Rebbe says we always say it in our davening. Even the malachim say kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. How far they are from God. So if a malach says that he's far from God, so a human being, it doesn't make a difference how great of a tzaddik he is, he's far from HaKadosh Baruch. And therefore, he has a thirst, hopefully, for God, for godliness. And his thirst never ends. And therefore, to a tzaddik, he feels like he's always sinning, in a way. Not in the sin that we understand as sin. But the tzaddik feels like he's always sinning. What is a sin? A sin is not the physical act. Again, we're worried about the physical act. The sin is not the figure. The sin is the repercussion of the act. The repercussion of the act. What's the repercussion of the act? The separation of God. What does Moshe Rabbeinu want? I want to see the face of God. So what did Moshe Rabbeinu feel in essence? I'm a sinner. That's what he felt. Yeah, he said, I don't see the face of God, so I must be a sinner. I'm not a complete entity. I'm in sin. Same concept. Moshe Rabbeinu felt he didn't see the face of God. God said you can't see it, so that means I'm imperfect. So that means I'll never be perfect. And in a way, that's correct, because there's no perfection in anything in creation. And therefore, a person should never feel perfect in wisdom, in spirituality. When it comes to physicality, you should feel perfect. Right? When it comes to physicality, a person should feel who is a wealthy man who's happy with his lot. Whatever the Eibishter gave him in this physical world, he feels perfect. But when it comes to spirituality, there's infinite. If a person feels perfect in spirituality, he doesn't know what spirituality is. So he has no idea what spiritual things are. There cannot be perfection in spiritual. Because the spirituality is God. God is the only entity that's perfect. And you don't need to be perfect.
Be on the journey.
Never-ending journey. Not in this world and not in the upper world. never-ending journey of spiritual heights. And the Eibishter, what do you have to look at? That God gave you and gave us all a great merit, a great schus, that we can be on this journey in this world. We can simply be on this journey here in this world. We can be on this infinite journey here in this world. What? Well, okay. Look at it that way. No, because I want to continue the journey. I'm not interested in finishing the journey. So therefore, why should I be perfection? I don't want perfection. I want to have continuation of the journey. I want to continue on this journey. And I want to live forever. I want to live forever. I don't want to live for 120 years. I want to live forever. Where am I running to? Gain wrinkles. Yeah.
When you don't feel connected or close to God, it's very scourging, and how do you get out of that?
But the point over here is that nobody feels totally connected. Even the tzaddik feels it. So therefore, you should realize that this connection should create a bigger journey, a bigger yearning. Shouldn't create a lack of it. It should create a bigger yearning. You should yearn more. You should cry more for connection. Daven harder. Learn more better. Go out and do more. What do you think? The tzaddik feels more connected. Maybe the tzaddik feels less connected. The closer the tzaddik feels, the more he feels how he needs to be more connected. Correct. So that should create a deeper yearning in a person. You should create within him that the Eibishter gave you a capability to make a bigger connection. Go out and make a bigger connection. Go out and create a better connection. 100%. Everything takes time. This takes avodah. In a connection between two people also takes work. Why do people don't get along with each other? Because they don't want to work on it. They don't want to work on it. Nobody wants to work. That's why the Alter Rebbe today in Tanya, in the day-to-day Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says laziness is the biggest problem. People don't want to work. They want friendships to happen easy, and love to happen easy, and a relationship with God to happen easy. Everybody's looking for the easy way. This is not an easy way. Not in between humans is it an easy way. Not between the God and the humans is an easy way. It takes focus. It takes concentration. It takes work. It takes thinking about the other person. It takes speaking to the other person. It takes action. It takes a lot of things to create a relationship between two people. It's not going to happen easy. So we're lazy. And that's understandable. Why would anybody want to work hard on these things? People want to find love easy. They want other people to have relationship easy. But we're in a relationship with another person. Where is it shown? When there's a struggle with the relationship, can you overcome the struggle? Can you overcome the struggle? Most of us, when we have a struggle in a relationship, we walk away. We become hateful. No, maybe the point of the struggle is to work on the relationship.
How about if you scorn them? You totally scorn food.
That shows that you have to work harder on this relationship. It's easy to walk away. Walk away is easy. You don't have to be a genius to walk away from a relationship. That's why 70% of people getting divorced. Walking away. Everybody's walking away. They don't have to be a chacham to walk away. That's the easiest thing you do, just walk away.
Discarding.
Yeah. Easy come, easy go.
I think it's hard to walk away. I don't think it's so easy.
Yeah, that's why 70% are walking away. So consequently, let's go right in Tanya. Consequently, now at this time when he regards himself and he sees the light of his soul does not permeate into him, it's evident that today his repentance has not been accepted, and his sin still separates him, or that it is desired to raise him to a more sublime level of repentance, coming more deeply from the heart, something is missing. If he has stopped his journey, if suddenly he feels stagnated, suddenly he feels comfortable, there's a problem. And therefore, King David said, my sins are always before me. King David said, every day I need to go higher. I need to go higher. I saw a beautiful interpretation of King David. King David lived 70 years in this world. And he accomplished, he did a lot in his lifetime. Besides that, he was a great prophet, and he was a great warrior, and he was a great king, and he was a great writer, and I mean, on and on and on. What this one person accomplished in his life, and why? How is you don't see that by many people that can accomplish so much in their lifetime, 70 years of their life, and he had great struggles. With that, he had great struggles. Unbelievable struggles, inner struggles, outer struggles, sadness, passing, wife problems. He had it. Every struggle that a person had, he had life and death issues. He had to run for his life, many, many years of his life. And the answer is because not too many people realize how God grants life to them. Many of us think that we have we have an unlimited amount of life. David HaMelech knew that his life was a granted gift. He wasn't supposed to live more than a day. He was supposed to be a stillborn, right? He was supposed to die the day he was born. But Adam HaRishon gave him 70 years of his life. When Adam HaRishon saw this soul, he said, I'm going to give him 70 years of my life. So Adam gave him 70 years. He lived 930 years. He was supposed to live 1,000 years. He gave him 70 years of his life. So King David realized every day was a gift. Every day of his life was a gift. He was granted a gift. Adam HaRishon gave him a gift. That's why it's brought down. Some people say Adam stands for Adam. Aleph is Adam. Dalet is David. And ultimately, Mem is Mashiach. So you have Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem. Adam is the beginning and the middle and the end of this journey, of this Adam. So Adam saw, in essence, Adam saw that there's a neshama, David, who's going to have to be Mashiach, which is who he is, Adam. So he gifted him 70 years of his life. Thank God. So that's when you realize when David HaMelech realized that what he is and the gift that was given to him, he never stopped in his service. He never stopped. It was every day he went out there, good, bad, troubles, not troubles, chasing, running for his life. It didn't change. He accomplished. He was an accomplishing individual. And the truth is, that's why that's why David HaMelech says, I'm not gonna. If I slow down, then I'm sinning. Then I'm abusing my gift. Right?
How he knew he had that gift.
He was a Navi. He was a prophet. David HaMelech was a prophet. He knew it. David HaMelech knew who he was. Now that's a problem. We don't. But the truth is the same thing. The Eibishter gives you a gift. God gives me a gift. And he gives us a gift of life. That gift is a gift. Don't take it for granted. Don't enjoy life. Nobody's telling you to enjoy life, but also enjoy the soul life. Enjoy the purpose of my neshama's life.
So he represents that squeezing of the olive. His whole life was squeezing, and
Right.
he created
Very good.
so much.
Very good. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Very good thought. 100%. 100%. But David HaMelech, look what the man accomplished, and look at the Tillim that he left us. So right. So look at the Tillim that he left us. that we can still connect to that soulful feeling and that soulful experience of David HaMelech. And we should realize this concept. We shouldn't take life for granted. And we shouldn't think that life should be easy for everybody. Be'ezrat Hashem, they should all have an easy life and they have a wonderful life. But nevertheless, God gives everybody the challenges, and they should never forget that gift. So that means even if they sinned, God forbid, even if they sinned, doesn't change what their avodah is. It doesn't change the service of God. It doesn't change. They should realize whether they sinned, they didn't sin, whether they rectified their sin, self-understood, they can rectify it more deeper. They can go deeper in their rectification. There's never ending. The journey never ends. The Alter Rebbe continues. It says, I don't know what time it is. Even he was innocent, even the one who was innocent and of grievous sins of his youth, should set his heart to fulfill the counsel of the Holy Zohar, to be a master of accounts. See, the Zohar wanted everybody should be accountants. We should be a master of accounts. That is to say, he should keep in a reckoning with his soul regarding all the thoughts and utterances and actions that have come and gone since he came into being until the present day. As to whatever they all came from the direction of holiness, from the directions of impurity. The Lord should deliver us. These being all thoughts and utterance and actions that are not dedicated to God and to his will and to the service. For this is the meaning of the Sitra Achra. This is the other side as explained above. So there's nobody in the world that is perfect. Even a tzaddik became a tzaddik. He was a child. They were born with the potential of a tzaddik. Everybody goes through their struggles, their selfishness. Everybody has their youth. Everybody has the issue. Everybody, even Moshe Rabbeinu, gets frustrated in the Torah. Why does the Torah tells you that? Even Moshe Rabbeinu has his struggles. So too, we have our struggles. We should not become diminished because we have our struggles. Because again, every struggle that we have in life is a God-given struggle. I might enhance it, but still a God-given struggle.
That's what we say, why?
What if we can't remember? We feel that distant, but we can't quite remember.
That's a distance. That's a distance.
Can we just
You don't have to remember the exact sin.
We just need to.
No, you have to realize you're distant, and we all are distant. And we need to come closer. We need to awaken ourselves to come closer, to do things better. Do things better. Who in the world over here cannot say they cannot do things better? Who in the world? What are we? Somebody can hang and say I'm perfect. I can't do things better. That you know you could do something better. That alone shows that you're distant. Why would you think that you can do something better if you're not distant from the real thing? We all can do things better. And again, whether it's in thought, whether it's in speech, whether it's in action, we all can do something better. We can learn more, we can be happier more, we can be satisfied more, we can be healthier and spiritually more. Who's perfect over here? So that we're not, that shows that there's things to work on. And it's not because we're bad people. It's because we're distant. When you're in distance from somebody else, You have to work hard on making that connection. Someone said the guy's your neighbor. It's easy to have a relationship. But if you have a distant relative, you have to make an effort. Hopefully, it awakens you up, Ava, to make that effort. Make the effort. Right? Today, we're all over the world. We have family all over the world. They're far, but they're very close today. They're much closer than they used to be. You just got to make the effort to make that relationship, to make that phone call, and make that FaceTime. You have to make the effort a little bit. Not a hard effort. It's much easier to have Ahavas Yisrael today than in history. You can help out a Jew on the other side of the world. Today, you can actually help out a Jew on the other side of the world. You can do Ahavas Yisrael to a Jew on the other side of the world. And we are. We're doing it. I'm not saying things that have not been done. We're doing it. We're helping Jews in Israel, helping Jews in other parts of the world. We're helping Jews that are in Tsar. We're supporting. It's unbelievable. Helping Jews. Imagine years ago you were so it was like hard to do this. Today it's not a hard thing to do. You can be busy elevating Jews and inspiring Jews anywhere in the world you want.
People hold the shluchim that are all over the world,
Yeah.
and they still have what they need. They get it, they do it,
Yeah, but you don't have to be a shliach. You can go.
Jim always put
You have a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time, give him a call. You have somebody you remember, give him a call. Say hello to them. Make a connection. It'll make you feel good. It'll make them feel good. It'll make you feel good. Trust me, it'll make you feel good. Not only make them feel good, it'll make you feel good. And it took some effort, it took some time. It's not, trust me, I know what it is. It's not an easy thing. But it is the right thing to do. So the separation needs to bring about a concept of a yearning to something greater. Not to separate, say, hey, we're separating. No, I'll wait for him to call. Out of mind, what is it? Out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. Right? Right. The point is to call a person, I'm thinking about you. The Abel still wants the same call. God wants the same call. He wants to say, I know I'm far, but you forgot me. Because I'm far, you forgot me. No. It should have been more of it should have waken up a deeper feeling because of this distance. It should bring us closer. But the problem is that we think that because we're far, you know what? He's not thinking about me. I'm not thinking about him. Let's keep the distance. We're afraid of the response. You have nothing to be afraid of God's response. I can tell you right now. The Abish says, "Samalacha nafshi, cry out to me. I'm not that far. I'm not that far." Because when it comes to a good thing, when it comes to a thought, as Al Taleb can say, when you think about God, it's an automatic connection. Automatic. It's automatic. That's an expression of Gemara. Yes, shekayna ilam b'shachas. When it comes to God, you can acquire your whole world in 1 second. In 1 second.
How?
Just turn around. Think about it. Think about God. That's it. That thought, you've connected to the essence of God. You've done it. You've done it. Think deeper.
Roots of the tree.
Keep on going. Keep on going. But the simple thought is already a concept. Because God's right there. The Kotzker Rebbe said, it says, God says, I'm going to separate your sin from you like the distance from the east to the west. So he asked the question, well, how far is the east to the west? How far is the east to the west? How far? So you start to value, I don't know, how the circumference of the east to the west. He didn't make a mistake. The east to the west is turning your head from the east to the west.
Turning around. That's it.
So turning your head from the east to the west, the Abish says, trust me, you just turn your head. You have now separated from the east to the west. That's it. Turn your head. Just turn your head. Turn your head. We learned that from Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu was walking in the thing and he saw a burning bush, the pasuk says it openly. Vayar Hashem kisar lidos, and God saw that he turned his head. And when he saw him turning his head, Vayar Hashem, Vayikra Hashem, God called out to him. That waited, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu could have walked by. And a burning bush. So the bush is burning, and maybe other people saw it too.
He saw that when he almost killed that, when he did kill that guy.
No. This is about a burning bush later on. That's different. He turned his head here and there. But it says it was a burning bush, and Moshe Rabbeinu passed the bush. Vayar Hashem kisar lidos, and the Abish saw that he turned his head. Vayikra Hashem, and God called out to him. What did turning of his head? So we can go through life, and everything. We don't look at what's happening. We don't take a moment to think a second.
But when he turned his head, he was asking God, "Is this the right thing to do? This is an evil man."
You're talking about a different story. We're not talking about Egypt. You're talking about two different stories. No. Don't mix the story.
Okay.
It's two different stories.
I see it.
So, okay, but there's two different stories. So it's over there, it's talking about turned his head to see that there's burning bush. That's the story. So he turned his head, God called him. So that's the beauty. The beauty is that you need to turn your head. You need to not just go through things without thinking a second. You need to sit down and say, wait a second. Why do I have these negative feelings? Why do you have these negative feelings? Why do you have? Because God is far away, because I'm far away. Maybe I need to come a little closer. That's all I need to do. Maybe I can come a little closer. We say that statement: small step for man, a big step for mankind. Take a small step. What is a step towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What is a step towards God? How far do you need to come close to God when it says God is infinite? So what is a step? A step is nothing, and a step is everything. A step forward is nothing, and a step forward is everything. I have expression. It says, "Open me up like the head of a needle, and I'll open you up. Then I'll do the rest." Moshe Rabbeinu was asked to put up the Mishkan. He said, "How can I do this myself? Too big, 15-foot beams, heavy. Put your finger to it. Put your finger to it. I'll do the rest." Every says that God says to each and every one of us, put your finger to it. Do a step closer. Who cannot say whether you're a tzaddik or you're a rasha to do a step closer? I ask you a better question. Who do you think does a step? Who do you think is more important, a step closer, the tzaddik or the rasha? So it is the rasha. Correct. He makes bigger waves in the world. The rasha who does a step closer to the tzaddik, but that's good. It is because a person that isn't. Let me ask you a question: who do you make a bigger tumult? That little kid who's not walking suddenly takes the first step. Everybody takes pictures and it's all over the video. It goes viral, and everybody, oh, he took a first step. Oh, wow, unbelievable! Right? You don't make a big tzimmer here. Nobody's taking pictures of you taking steps. You're walking in here. Nobody's taking pictures. That doesn't come viral. Oh, look, Moshe's taking a step. Oh, look at him. He's unbelievable. Taking a step. No, we take a step of that child who never stepped, and suddenly he took a step. Wow, unbelievable story. Yeah, we have pictures of it. The parents are happy. They're buying a cake. They're celebrating. The Avish is celebrating when he sees us taking a step. Our soul is celebrating when he sees us taking a step. But we can take the step subconsciously, and we can take the step consciously. You take the step consciously. That when we take the step, we know we're taking a step. We know we're coming closer. We do it intellectually, emotionally. We're moving forward on our free choice, on our own free choice. We're taking the step. And take a step. That's it. I would tell you the Rebbe, you asked a lot of questions. Well, how do you take a step? Take one step, take two steps, step by step. Step by step. Take one step, take two steps, take three steps. I don't know which step is going to be the moment that's going to flip the situation. I don't know. You got to take the step. I cannot give you, you're going to have the aha moment, which step it's going to be. That's going to say, oh, I got it. I've taken the step. I'm enlightened, so to say. I see the beauty of it. It might take 10 steps. I don't know. I can't give you that. I can't give you that number. But if you don't take a step, you don't sarlidus, you don't take a step, you don't give it a moment of thought, you don't turn your head, it's impossible to accomplish this. Okay. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. We'll continue to learn Chassidus. If anybody on Zoom needs to help with buying a Tanya, it'll be my pleasure and my honor to help you acquiring a Tanya.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful and beautiful day.
Can you explain?